5th of July, Rabbi Furst, Parsha Hashavua with Rashi Korach.
Okay, thank you. As Lou mentioned, this is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here. She was Hamanafshi Yerushalayim here of Zoom. Erev Shabbos, as Lou mentioned, Parshas Korach Shana Tavshin Pei Dalet. Okay, Parshas Korach. Let us begin. We'll start with the very beginning of the Parsha. Let's begin, and then we'll move further through the Parsha beginning. Okay, yeah. Any volunteers to do a little reading?
All right, I'll stumble through. You owe me, Lou. No, you don't. No, you don't. Vekach Korach ben Yitzhak ben Kohath ben Levi v'dasen v'Viram b'nei Eliyahu v'on ben Peles b'nei Ruvain. Now Korach, the son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan and Aviram, the sons of Eliah, and On, the son of Peles, the son of Reuben, presumed. V'yakumu lifnei Moshe v'anasim mibnei Yisrael chamishim v'marathoyim nesia ado korea ma'ed and shame. And they rose, they presumed, and they rose up before Moshe, and certain men of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the congregation, called into the assembly men of name, men of distinction, I suppose.
That's right, men of distinction. People who were very well recognized, and they've obviously had good achievements, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, and Vayik Halu al Moshe Va'al Aharon V'Amaru V'Aleihim Rav Rachem Ki Kol Hayodol Kulon Kedoshim Uvesochom Hashem Umadavei Tisnosau Al Kohel Hashem. And they were assembled against Moshe and against Aaron, and said to them, "You take too much upon you, for all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and the Eternal is among them. Why then lift you up yourselves above the assembly of the Eternal?"
I didn't.
Okay. Vayashmei, what? Vayishma Moshe v'yopo al ponov. And when Moses heard it, he fell on his face. וידבר אל לקורח ואל כל הדסו לאמור, לאמור בוקר וידי השם אשר לו ואש הקודש והקריב אלוהו ואש אשר יבחר בו יקריב אלוהו. And he spoke to Korach and to all the congregation, to all his congregation, that means to all of Korach's congregation, right, saying, even tomorrow the Eternal will make known who are his and who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him. Even him who he has chosen will he cause to come unto him.
Okay, very good. Now, let's go back and do some Rashis here.
All right. Aleph, where's Aleph? It's 11. No, it's no good. 16. Oh, here we go. This section is beautifully expounded in the Midrash of Rabbi Tahuma. So this is what the editor said here. Vayikach Korach. This section is beautifully expounded in the Midrash of Rabbi Tanhuma.
So Rashi doesn't go into details there. Rashi just tells you you sort of know on your own to take a look over there, but you won't have time for that now.
And Korach he betook himself on one side with a view of separating himself from out of the community, so that he might raise a protest regarding the priesthood to which Moshe had appointed his brother. This is what Onkelos means when he renders it by Peleg. He separated himself from the rest
Right,
of the
Peleg is to
Peleg. Yeah.
is to separate from.
Right. To separate himself from the rest of the community in order to maintain dissension.
So
The note here says possibly Onkelos takes the kach, the root of vayikach, as equivalent to chelek.
So this is very important, right? His Paleg, right? Is Paleg nichlak mishar ha'eder. He removed himself from the rest of the community, meaning he had his 250 followers. They were against Moshe Rabbeinu, and he now, independently from the rest of Klal Yisrael, went against Moshe Rabbeinu because he didn't want, obviously, to be still connected with the rest of Klal Yisrael, because they could have been people that would try and make peace between him and Moshe Rabbeinu. But he was not interested in that. He was, as Rashi says, lahachzik b'machlokus. He wanted, what does it mean to lahachzik b'machlokus? To hold fast in the machlokus. Korach was not interested in compromise. It was all or nothing. He was not willing wasn't a discussion with Moshe Rabbeinu how to come around to a cordial resolution of what issues Korach had. He was not interested in that. He was interested in the machlokas itself. Lahaksik the machlokas, to simply maintain. Haksik means to maintain and sustain the machlokas. And to do that, he had to separate himself from Mr. Kal Yisrael.
So practically speaking, I can imagine that Kol Israel is sort of standing up in a massive group, I suppose you call it, a huge group, and Moshe Rabbeinu is in front of them, and Korach and his men have stepped out from the congregation so that they form a separate group.
Right.
Right, and that's when it says, and Korah and his, what did it say? Sorry. And I'm assembled against Moshe. Excuse me. They called it, that's Korah's congregation.
Right.
And they were assembled against Moshe.
Right.
There's two congregations.
You go ahead. What are the two, Roy? Go ahead. What are the two?
No, the Korah's congregation and Moshe Rabbeinu's congregation.
Right. They were the rebels. Right. They were the rebels.
Mm-hmm.
And Moshe Rabbeinu. Correct. Now, this phrase that Rashi uses, lahaksik b'machlokas, take a look in Perek Yud Zayin. We'll have to go a little further. Take a look in Perek Yud Zayin, Pasuk Hey.
Perek Yud Zayin is 17.
Right.
It's 16, 18, 17, and what did you say?
Pasuk Hey, the 5th verse.
Mhm.
This let's go.
I've looked back. You want to read?
Yeah, I was just looking at you. It's following the corner. Corner up in the top. Yeah, we'll get to it. Yeah, it's like I can get that. There you go.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sorry about it.
No problem.
Good Shabbos to everybody.
Be well said.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Right.
So you see,
Pasuk Hay.
right, Perek Yud Zayin Pasuk Hey. Go ahead.
Zikaron Livnei Yisrael. Is that right?
Yes.
Lema'an Asher Lo Yikrav Ish Zo Asher Lo Mezera Acharon Hu Le Hakatir Kit Res Tifnei Hashem Below Yeh Hakarach.
Korach.
How do you say it?
Korach. Korach.
Korach. V'hadasa Ka'asher Reber Shem Biyad Moshe Lo. Hey, in English is to be a memorial unto the children of Israel. This is doing the altar. To be a memorial unto the children of Israel, that no layman who is not of the seed of Aaron approach to cause incense to ascend in fumes before the Eternal, that he be not as Korach and his congregation, as the Eternal said to him by the hand of Moshe.
So it says here, you shall not be like Korah and his congregation. So the Gemara learns from this that this is allowed. This is just like a person can't eat chametz on Pesach. He cannot talk lashon hara. He cannot do malach on Shabbos, which allow him to be like Korach and Hadassah, to be like Korach and his community, is also allowed.
Sorry, love means a
Negative commandment.
a negative command, right? Okay, thank you.
The prohibition.
Mhm. All right.
Question is, as the this is a Gemara. This is a Gemara in Sanhedrin, Daf Kuf Yud, Daf page 110, Amud Aleph. The Gemara in Sanhedrin 110, Aleph, brings this pasuk, cites this pasuk. V'yakam Moshe v'elech el dasan v'aviram. You see Moshe Rabbeinu. The Gemara is citing the pasuk that relates to us, Moshe Rabbeinu's efforts to make shalom, to try and quell the rebellion. So he went Dasan v'aviram, and Rabbeinu was interested in trying to reconcile the issue. So on that, Reish Lakish because the ein maksikin b'machlokas. You see from the fact that Moshe Rabbeinu was willing, right, on his own. Hashem didn't tell him to do this. Hashem went on it. Moshe Rabbeinu went on his own to Dasan v'aviram to ask them to repent and to help put down the rebellion. That is, according to Reish Lakish, an indication from us, from the Torah, that a person should not be involved in maintaining a machlokas. You want to put down, you want to dispel a machlokas, a dispute. You want to dispel a dispute. You don't want the dispute to continue on. The Amarav, and he proposes a statement of Rav, call a maksik machlokas over a lav. Anyone who is going to maintain a dispute, a quarrel, over Malav, he's over a prohibition from the Torah. Shenemar lo yeh kekorach v'adaso. The person is maintaining a quarrel or a dispute of some kind, and not making any attempts to bring a resolution to the quarrel. That is what a person is doing. It's just like he's talking Lashon Hara, just like he's eating chametz on Pesach, just like he's Mechal Shabbos. He's doing something which the Torah prohibits. Unfortunately, people that they would never think of being Machal Shabbos, they would never think of even speaking Lashon Hara. They would not think of eating anything unkosher. When it comes to a machlokus, they're not willing to put out efforts to put an end to the machlokus. And we see from here, Moshe Rabbeinu himself went ahead and did that, right? Moshe Rabbeinu himself went ahead to try and put out the machlokas. Now, we can contrast this with the case of the Magefa.
Of the
not the plague, but the Magefa, himself. I'll direct you to where you should look in the Chumash. Look at in Perek Yud Zayin, Perek Yud, this chapter 17.
in Bamidbar.
Yes.
No, right, chapter 17. Let's see.
And the chapter, as I said, the chapter 17, the verse is 6. Verse 6.
Oh, that's chapter 15. Really. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, no. 17. X,
Yeah.
Y, X, V, I. All right. Sorry, Numbers, chapter 17.
Right. Number 6.
Number 6. Right. I'll read it in English or one first.
Whatever you like.
6 with 5, 6. Vayilon Loku Kol Adas B'nai Yisrael Mima Faros Al Moshe Ba'al Acharon Lamo Echom, Atem, sorry, Atem, I said that for, Lamo, Atem, Hamitem, Es, Hashem, to be memorial to the children of Israel, that no layman who is not of the seed of Aaron approach to cause incense to ascend in fumes before the Eternal, that he be not as Korach and his congregation, as the Eternal said to him by the hand of Moshe.
Okay, continue on.
Six. Oh, that was, what was that? Oh, so I read the five here. Six. But on the morrow, all the congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moshe and against Aaron, saying, "You have put to death the people of the Eternal."
Yes, that's pretty serious. The people were not happy.
Did he, when he said you put to death the people of the Eternal, that's Hashem talking, right? Right?
No. Start at the beginning of the pasuk. Read the beginning of the verse.
Oh, Moshe saying, but on the morrow all the children of Israel murmured against Moshe and against Aaron. Oh, the people were saying,
That's right.
you have put to death the people of the Eternal. But which people was that? Which was that? Both congregations, or was it the congregation of Korach, or was it just the congregation of Moshe, or was it to both of them?
So
To whom do we refer? It says on
yeah,
seven.
the people were getting there were a lot of deaths. There was a lot of deaths occurring here.
A lot of, what did you say?
There was a lot of death.
A lot of deaths. Yeah.
People were blaming Moshe Rabbeinu for all these deaths.
Do I read on?
Yes.
And it came to pass when the congregation was assembled against Moshe and against Aaron. And here I have to ask, is it the combined congregation or each congregation separately? That they looked towards the appointed tent, and behold, the cloud covered it, and the glory of the Eternal appeared. And Moshe and Aaron came before the appointed tent. And the Eternal spoke to Moshe, saying, "Get you up from the midst of this congregation, get you up from the midst of this congregation, that I may consume them as in a moment." And they fell upon their faces.
Things are getting, Roy, things are getting worse. You see what's going on here? Things are getting worse. Not getting better here. Korach's gone. Dasan Aviram is gone. 250 of his men are gone. Right?
Yeah.
Now the people come and say, "Look what you're doing." And Hashem says, "Okay, these people are gone also. They're going to disappear. Goners. They're goners, as they say."
Oh, yeah, right. I didn't realize this was all after the earth swallowed up.
Yeah, this is another separate calamity. This is another tragedy that's occurring here.
It's unfolding now. It goes,
Exactly.
it says, and Moshe said unto Aaron, take the censer and put the fire therein from off the altar, and put on incense, and go quickly unto the congregation, and make an expiation for them. For there is anger gone out from the Eternal, and the plague is begun. This is what? To ameliorate the plague, or to get rid of the plague, or
Yes, because he said him to take. He told him to take the incense, right?
make an expiation for them. Oh, okay. And Aaron took as Moshe commanded, and ran into the midst of the congregation, and behold, the plague was begun anon among the people, and he put on incense and made an expiation for the people. And he stood between the dead and the living, and a pestilence was restrained. This is Aaron.
Right.
Now they that died in the pestilence were 14,700, besides them that died about the matter of Korach. And Aaron returned to Moshe unto the entrance of the appointed tent, and the pestilence was restrained. And the Eternal spoke unto Moshe, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and take off of every one of them a staff, according to the house of their fathers, of all their princes, according to the house of their fathers, 12 staves. Write on them every man's name upon his staff. And you shall write Aaron's name upon the staff of Levi, for one staff shall be for the head of the house of their fathers. And thou shalt place them in the appointed tent before the testimony, where I have my appointments with you. And it shall come to pass that the man's staff, whom I shall choose, shall blossom, and I will cause to cease from me the murmurings of the children of Israel, whereby they murmur against you. So this is every member of the house of Israel, of the tribe of Israel, every Israelite, regardless of their house, of a tribal name, everybody has a staff. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, the heads of the people had a staff. Yeah.
Oh, the heads of them. All right, because I had the impression that everybody had to have a staff.
Well, not everybody, not everybody in the whole population. Just that the 10 leaders, they were to take their staffs.
Right. So Moses spake unto the children of Israel. This is 21. For the children of Israel, and every one of their princes gave him a staff apiece, for each prince one, according to their fathers' houses, even 12 staves, and the staff of Aaron was in the midst of their staves. And Moshe placed the staves before the Eternal in the tent of the testimony. And it came to pass that on the morrow Moshe came into the tent of testimony. And behold, the staff of Aaron for the house of Levi yielded a flower, and brought forth buds, and blossoms, and ripened into almonds. And Moshe brought out all the staves from before the Eternal unto the children of Israel, and they saw and took every man his staff. And the Eternal said unto Moshe, restore Aaron's staff before the testimony, to be kept as a charge and a sign against the sons of rebellion. and thou shalt quite take, and thou shalt quite take away their murmurings from me, that they die not. And Moshe did so, as the Eternal commanded him, so did he. And the children of Israel spoke unto Moshe, saying, Behold, we expire, we perish, we all perish. Whosoever approaches unto the dwelling of the Eternal shall die. Have we not yet done expiring?
What's that mean? I'm not sure what that last phrase meant. Was that the last phrase?
And have we not yet done expiring? Haven't the deaths finished?
Ah,
Haven't we yet done with dying?
meaning what? Meaning what? This was a question. They weren't sure if it had stopped yet. I'm not sure what the question was here.
It says 28. What's 28? Kuf Chai, is it? Yes. Kol Hakorev El Moshe. No, El Mishkan Hashem Yamus Ha'am Tamanu the Goya. Whoever approaches the dwelling of the Eternal shall die. But haven't we had enough of dying? Which is in a way seems to be, if you look at it in this way, that it's a questioning that you should die if you approach the dwelling of the Eternal. In a way, I could say that whoever approaches unto the dwelling of the Eternal shall die. So, haven't we had enough dying? Do we have to die when we approach the dwelling of the Eternal?
Okay. Now, what does that seem to? What does that? I'm lost a little bit. What does that mean? What does that mean to say?
They've had enough of dying. Okay, they've had rebellions. They've been chastised for them, and have been punished for their rebellions. With death, and they've had so much of death and dying in an unnatural way, not natural deaths. There have been deaths that have been declared by Hashem for doing something wrong, and they've got. They're probably upset about them and want to want an end to these deaths.
Right. So, what were they proposing to do? Or what was it? I mean, look at the cause of these things. The rebellions are causing these deaths, right?
Beg your pardon?
The rebellions are causing these deaths, right?
Right. But now this is a new thing. This is not a rebellion, I don't think. This is if you're in the wrong place. If you're approaching the dwelling of the Eternal, what's the dwelling? Is that the what do you call it? Not the altar. The altar. Is that right? Anyway, if you're approaching the Makom of Hashem, the place of Hashem in the temple, you're going to die. Isn't enough.
Well, enough. Yeah, but don't they only have themselves to blame for all this business?
Yes.
So it's okay. So
I think
let's
this,
not be childish about this. Don't be childish about this. You know, if you have a little boy, and every time he takes his big sister's toys away from her, he hits him on the head with the pocketbook. So he's crying. He's getting hit on the head with the pocketbook. So stop taking the toys away from him. You'll get hit on the head with the pocketbook.
Yeah. Okay, well, just a moment. We haven't seen what Rashi has said, have we? So
Excuse me.
we haven't seen what Rashi has said about.
Oh, well,
this.
let's take a look. Good idea. Let's take a look.
All right. So
Back up a bit.
what? Where do we start with Rashi?
Oh, well, maybe I would suggest maybe Yud Aleph 11. There's not much Rashi before then.
Okay. Yud 11. Oh. Oh, 11, right. The Koser, the Koser, Eliyahu.
You can read it in English. You can read it in English. It's okay. You can read it in English.
And make an expiation for them. This secret, the angel of death communicated to Moshe when he went up into heaven to receive the Torah, viz., that the incense checks the plague, as it is related in the treatise Shabbos 89a. All right, so the angel of death built the beams there. 13 is the next Rashi. And he stood between the dead and the living. He, Aaron, seized the angel of death and stopped him to spite himself. The angel said to him, "Let me be, so that I may carry out my commission." And Aaron answered him, "Moshe has bidden me to prevent you." The angel replied, "I am the messenger of the Omnipotent, while you are but the messenger of Moshe." Aaron retorted, "Moshe does not say anything out of his own mind, but only at the command of the Almighty. If you do not believe me, behold, the Holy One, blessed be he, and Moshe are at the entrance of the appointed tent. Come with me and ask them." This is the meaning of what is stated in verse 15. And Aaron returned unto Moshe, that is, returned together with the angel of death. Compared that with Tanakh at the end of Tetzaver. There's a footnote about that here, but another explanation is, wherefore was the plague stayed by means of the incense? Because the Israelites were traducing and speaking ill of the incense. Don't know what traducing. Saying, "It is a deadly poison. Through it, Nadab and Abihu died. Through it, the 250 men were burnt." Therefore the Holy One, blessed be he, said, you will see that it is also a means for restraining the plague and all their princes according to the house of their fathers, 12 staves. And it is only sin that brings death.
Sin, that's right. The sin is what's causing the death. So based on this, so how do we understand what their complaints are all about? They're complaining that they're tired of all this, all these levias. Right? Well, what are they coming for? Why are they there?
Well, there's a note here, but I don't know if that's going to help us much.
Okay.
The note was for when it says, returned unto Moshe together with the angel of death. As it is, as it's written in the Tanakh at the end of Tevet. The Midrashic exposition is based, says this footnote, on the repeated statement in verses 13 and 15 that the plague was stayed. At first, Aaron succeeded in stopping the angel of death for the moment, but only after the angel's protest had been met was the plague entirely brought to a standstill.
So it did not happen all at once.
The subject of Vayomer would, according to this midrash, be the angel of death. He stood still between, etc.
Very good. So the question, just have to leave with this question maybe. When it came to stopping the plague, so Moshe Rabbeinu sent Aaron, right? He sent Aaron.
Right.
And when it came to try and stop the rebellion, Moshe Rabbeinu went himself.
Right.
So just that lends me to believe that it was even more, for some reason. You probably give reasons, but there was obviously a reason why Aaron was sent to stop the plague, whereas Moshe Rabbeinu, he himself went to stop the rebellion. I would think that you can learn from this that maybe that stopping the rebellion, meaning making peace, is even more important perhaps than stopping the plague, because Moshe Rabbeinu went himself to stop the rebellion, but instead of stopping the plague by himself, he sent Aaron in his stead. So just something to think about. If you have any residual thoughts on it, we can maybe discuss it a little bit beginning of next week, if you have any thoughts on that point. Okay. Very good, Rory. Very good, Lou.
You
both have a very good Erev Shabbos.
You too, be well, family. You too.
You have a good Shabbos.
Okay, thank you. Everyone have a good Erev Shabbos.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.